Thank you, Kershal. That was a great introduction into some of the things that people can do with Visionary Render. Well, hello everyone. I'm Paul McColl. I'm visualization system architect, and I'd like to take a bit of time on telling you how we can use collaborative systems, large-scale collaborative systems, to immerse you in this Visionary Render world. So, for years, we've got companies putting a significant amount of effort into their CAD. And they're building detailed and high-value sources of data. But we rarely use all of this data to its maximum benefit. And as we've seen and heard, Visionary Render can change all of that. It can be linked to your PLM and linked to IoT sources, and you can build effective, high-value digital twins. And it can be distributed right across your business. One of the things is that you can import with Visionary Render almost any CAD. So you can optimize your design processes, and you can review collaboratively with people. And that helps you to develop faster designs and develop better designs. You can then take Visionary Render into the planning phase and plan and optimize your factory layout, for example, or your manufacturing processes. You could share these models with the marketing team, and you could be marketing your products weeks, months, or even years before you build anything. Training for assembly can be done, training for installation or maintenance, and that can start earlier than ever before because we can do it virtually. And this will deliver better and faster results. You can use Visionary Render to monitor, operate, maintain more effectively. But don't forget, some of the most complicated engineering problems come in the decommissioning phase of a product. In fact, with these eco-friendly times, we're seeing that decommissioning is now becoming repurposing or even second life. Now, if you can plan for all of these things and rehearse them and optimize them from day one, you're going to benefit. But the greatest benefits are when you build and maintain this complete digital thread, combining all of these areas, and use visualization at every stage. But we're very aware that people use one or the other, and they might dip in at various stages. However, whatever you do, you need the tools to see what you need to see, when you need to see it, and with a device that's appropriate to that particular use case. So, what are people doing? Well, people use a wide range of systems. We see HMDs everywhere now, and they're great for personal review and interaction. You can use large-scale power walls that allow you to interact with your data at a one-to-one scale. And these are brilliant for group review because you can put large audiences in front of the screen. Screens can be made even more immersive by adding a floor, and they allow you to look down. This allows you to work with your hands at products that might be down near your feet. It really wraps you in that scene. But the ultimate immersive systems are often being considered to be cubes or caves. And they wrap you in high-resolution 3D images. And these can have a spatial resolution that are far in excess of any HMD. Also, and finally, there are portable solutions that let you take VR on the road, whether that be a small kit in a flight case, or whether that be something like a portable power wall that you could set up in a foyer or reception area, as we're seeing in this image here. But most importantly, all of our systems can be connected together using Visionary Render and used collaboratively, whether they're in a single factory or at the other ends of the world. They can all be connected together and work in real time. A great example of how people are using this visualization technique is with BAE Systems. They've got surely some of the most complicated products in the world, warships and nuclear submarines. And they've been using VR technologies, they've been using Virtalis technologies for design, review, and manufacturing for more than 20 years. They've really leveraged how Visionary Render and VR systems work together to virtually and collaboratively build and test designs before cutting any steel. So they now have more than 20 systems. And yes, we would consider them to be a fairly large user. But advanced visualization, or VR, is not just for the massive global businesses. Businesses with only 1 or 2 CAD seats use advanced visualization as well. I mean, in this image here, this is an architect based in Malaysia who are using Vision Render and a Virtalis active wall to add that all-important third dimension to what they're doing. This allows both designers and clients to have a better sense of both space and volume. It allows them to evaluate the quality of the spatial volume within that building and allows customers to get an accurate feeling of that space. And it's this feeling that you really can't get using drawings or 2D images. In VR, you actually experience your design for the first time. So let's quickly see in a process where VR might fit in. Our engineer here is at the design stage of a product. So he builds his design in CAD and he reviews this in his own personal HMD. HMDs are fantastic for personal use. They're low cost, easy to distribute and readily available. However, they're not ideal for group review. They can actually limit communication. You're in fact isolated from the world when you have this face mask on. You cannot read facial or bodily expressions. And this is a huge part on how humans communicate. In fact, it's over 50% of the way in which we communicate is through facial and bodily movements. Just think, as an example, how non-verbal messages can be reinforced. When we want to be sure of a message we send somebody, we even add an emoji, a facial expression. So, how does he take this to the next step? So this engineer now wants to review this design with his team. If they're remote, he can do this collaboratively with Visionary Render. He can connect people together across the internet or across a LAN. Or he could use some of our cloud-based visualization tools. And we can share complex models with a wide range of devices and allow them all to collaborate in real time simultaneously. Now, as teams are returning to the office, things are beginning to change. And people are coming back to face-to-face discussions, as communication this way is faster and it's more assured. So we're seeing large-scale one-to-one visualizations like power walls coming back. They're coming back into use. Groups can share in their experience from multiple locations, and they can all dial in together and collaborate in real time by linking them using Visionary Render in 3D. They can link these large-scale systems together. In fact, laptops can collaborate with HMDs that can collaborate with large walls and do this all seamlessly. These systems are flexible and can be used for multiple of non-VR uses. So their expense can be spread across other areas for corporate presentations, customer experience centers, training centers, and that sort of thing. It isn't just for design. Our designer now wants to take this to the next step. They want to do a trial build. They want to work on the process of assembly, or they want to train the engineer on how to assemble the product they've designed. So what you're seeing here is a system that was installed in order to plan and design work cells. So working with their hands was absolutely vital. And a floor or wall immerses you more and allows you to do this work with your hands far more naturally. The product pops out of the floor like a hologram. It feels physical. It appears to be in the room with you. And with professional high-end positional tracking systems, it means we can track their head movement, so you can walk around it. We can track their hand movement, so they can reach out and touch it. We can even track their finger movement or their whole body movement. And you can even track tools, so they could stand in this world and use tools in the same virtual space. What's more, this client even combined this with HMDs to be truly collaborative with Visionary Render. For the highest resolution and most immersive environments, we've got cubes. Cubes or caves require a greater investment, and historically, they've needed quite a significant amount of space. But technologies are developing really rapidly at the moment, and space requirements are reducing. One issue with systems like this has always been the immersive capability, and it's the limitation on the number of simultaneous you can use in a single space. Typically, you could only have one tracked person, but now We have multiple point of view projectors that solve this problem by allowing several people to have their own unique point of view and collaborate together on a single screen. You can see in this picture 3 people collaborating on the same product at the same time, each having their own point of view. We can see their facial expressions, we can know exactly what they're thinking. Finally, we have VR LED walls. They're now here. The technology is being distributed and we're installing them as we speak. LED walls are made up of lots of smaller tiles, so they're immensely scalable while maintaining their resolution. And the resolution is fantastic now with pixel pitches well below 1 millimeter. Brightness and contrast are far better, allowing that they beat projection by a long way in this respect. And screens don't suffer from the same ambient light problems. So it means you can work in full daylight. In fact, full sunlight. These systems are very, very capable. But most importantly, it's a space issue that's been solved, as they can be mounted on a wall. They take up only a few centimeters of space. So the system is maybe 6 or 7 centimeters deep, and you need a cooling space behind that. So you might use up 40 centimeters of space of your room. And the life expectancy is so much better. It's 5 times that of a current laser projector. So their eco credentials are really good as well. So what have we learned? So from all this, we can see that Vision and Render can work hand in hand with a huge range of visualization systems, head-mounted displays, walls, cubes, caves, laptops, whatever you like. Systems can be chosen or designed to meet your specific needs, to solve your problems. They're matched to unique use cases, and we try and choose systems that meet your use case, your space requirements, and indeed your budget requirements. So that brings my part and the basics of VR in systems in the industry to a close. I hope you found that really useful. We can dig deeper in this face-to-face or at another time on future webinars. Until then, I'm going to hand you back to the team. Thank you.